So it's been almost a year since Lex and I have been working together, and I actually have footage of probably one of the first 4 cars that we worked on together. So in this video, I'm gonna review some of the footage that I have and then kind of just walk you through the process of like where we were on July 6th to where we are now almost a year later with what we're using now versus what we're using then. So I'll just bring you along, go down memory lane, and we'll see how we're doing. So here, I forget the vehicle, but it has some cloth and leather, so it's extraction and just leather cleaning. And first things first you'll notice is that we're using the steamer, actually Lord, we're using both the steamer and the extractor, right? So we're steaming the seats, and then we're extracting it with the Aqua ProVac. So now we don't do any steaming. If we do some steaming, it's because we have the steamer running on a separate generator, and then we're gonna use the steamer to break apart maybe some heavy staining, but we're not gonna steam the entire seat like we're doing here. It's primarily gonna be to just break apart the stains. But here, we're steaming the entire seat and extracting everything. You wouldn't see that happening now. At the time here, we're just using the Predator 3500 in the purple paint chipping 1999 Dodge Caravan. And now, of course, we have a Predator 8750 with a 2015 Ram ProMaster. So quite a significance between almost a year, exactly, almost an entire year from right now.
The other thing I don't like about this extractor.
What, dude? Tell me. Now, as you're gonna see, we're still using pump sprayers. That's always been a default feature for both of us, is use a pump sprayer where needed. We have added more and more and more pump sprayers. Let's say at the time, we probably had 4, and now we have like 10 plus pump sprayers for different things or for similar products, but having 2 of them on hand. So we still use pump sprayers even back then because it's much easier to do that over a spray bottle, especially for like agitating seats or iron remover. Having a pump sprayer is much easier. Now, as you can see here, Lex is filling up the solution tank from the Aqua ProVac. At this time, we had a 50-gallon water tank in the van, and we would drip the water into the solution tank. Now, current date is that we have a 100-gallon water tank, and instead of the Aqua ProVac, which is 1.5 gallons of a solution and recovery tank, we now have the Prospector 500 that has a 12-gallon solution and 12-gallon recovery tank. Now, obviously, because we have the Aqua ProVac, at this time we only had a 15-foot hose that comes standard with the Aqua ProVac. A few weeks later, we upgraded to the 22-foot hose that they sell separately. So with the 15-foot hose, we always have to move the Aqua ProVac around because it doesn't reach all the areas in the interior. When you get the 22-foot hose, you can at least leave the Aqua ProVac for the most part like in a corner, like at a tire, and move the hose all along the interior. And obviously now we have the extractor on a reel with a 33-foot hose. with the upgraded scientific sapphire upholstery tool versus the standard head that comes with most extractors. So now when we would dump the wastewater from the Aqua Provac, we would literally just pick up the little tank and kind of toss it over on the concrete. But now it's a different system because the Prospector 500 is so large. There's 12 gallons of water. There's a drain in the back of the extractor. You lift up, it drains all the water into a bucket, and then from the bucket we discard of it. So it's a pretty big difference, and it's just funny to see a year ago what we were using and then the big old beastly machine that we have now, which I have a few videos referencing the Prospector 500, so check those out if you're interested in seeing our current setup. Now the big thing here is when we're working with the leather surfaces, we're using a brush here. Like a few months later, we switched on over to all the scrub pads. Well, I don't know how often, but later on we switched all over to the Ninja scrub pad and the Ninja scrub mitts. I'll have everything linked down below, so don't worry about what I'm saying. So yeah, we would never use a brush on leather or plastics now. Like if someone were to use a brush on the leather seats or plastic panels, that'd be like a big no-no, right? Not as far as like the specific areas like the handle or the window thingamabobber or the pockets, but more so like cleaning the actual door panel, like the foot, like the big areas of the door panel or like the whole leather seats. That's just like no one will do that here because the scrub pads and scrub mitts are far more superior at cleaning than just a simple brush. Now, as far as the cleaner that we're using, it's still super clean, diluted 10:1. Lex, I believe for the most part, has done that whole, the Serrano sauce with like a few drops of dish soap on there. So from a year ago to now, we're still using the same thing of just APC, whatever APC you want to use. We're using super clean, diluted 10:1. So that's still the same. And we still use it in spray bottles because like for us, using the a pump sprayer for interior cleaning, like of leather seats, of door panels, it just puts out too much product, so that's why we still use it in a spray bottle form. Now here, this was the only vehicle that we had scheduled for the day. If you watched an older video, I said that when we first started, we were doing 1 vehicle a day, and that quickly went up to 2 vehicles, to now 3 vehicles, to 4 vehicles a day. So that's also a big change to where that was just 1 vehicle for the day and we were done. But also you can see like the results are still fantastic. And again, going back to another video that I referenced, whenever you're using whatever machines, the Aqua Provac, the Bizzle Spot Cleaner, a Prospector 500, a HV60 Spider, and a Mighty Lights 8070, whatever it's called, on 1 vehicle, right, 1 single instance, you can get favorable results. Here, using the steamer and the Aqua Provac, great results. You can't argue that. It's fantastic results. It's because when you're trying to do more vehicles, it's when you have to do that 2, 3, 4 times per day where things actually change and you have to upgrade your equipment. But as far as a 1 single off instance, those are great results. And the Aqua Provac is what? Not a big water tank, not a big solution or recovery tank. It's not heated. The suction isn't that strong, but you're still able to get amazing results if you know what you're doing and you have the time to do it. So it was, yeah, that's a pretty big transformation between exactly, depending on when this video goes out, almost exactly a year ago to date, where just it's completely different. That's like, this is one of the first like 4 cars that we worked on together. I think perhaps the first one were like a Mercedes G-Wagon, if that's what they're called. So this is definitely like one of the first few that we worked together. So I'll end the video right here. It was just kind of, I popped in the SSD and I found this footage and I was like, oh man, this is like one of the first cars that we cleaned. So I just wanted to kind of share the memory with you guys of like how Lex and I first started, of how we cleaned interiors to how we're cleaning them now, which is like a black and white, night and day difference to how we're operating. So I'll leave it right here. Anything that I mentioned, I'll have it linked down in the description box, so just check there and see what we're using. If you have any comments, questions, concerns of anything about this video or what we do or how we do it, just let me know. I'll make a video on it at some point in the future. I'll talk to everyone on the next one.